I was lucky enough to live next to the most famous child in China. He happened to be my neighbor's child. So today I want to share what it was like to grow up next to him. I grew up in China with this neighbor's kid. I will spare the Chinese name and refer him as Tony Stark. All right, so Tony is this kid who got almost A+ for every single class in the school, who is superstar in the sports team, who has great talents for music and a great painter. And don't forget, he's also this nice, caring, gentle, lovely person. And everybody just crazy about Tony Stark. So grew up with someone like Tony next door. This is the type of conversations I usually had with my parents. So one day my mom came home and said, "Hey, Liusha, I heard Tony got 100% in his math exam. How did you just get 99%? Why can't you just study harder?" Or, "Hey, Liusha, did you hear how rude you? Why can't you be like Tony? He was so polite and caring. Be like him and people will like you more." Or, "Hey, Liusha, I heard Tony has been helping his mom since he's 7 years old with all the housework. Why can't you just spend less time on the video games and help me a little bit?" This is the conversations. When I look back, I really felt that I was having a fight with Tony Stark, the real Iron Man, with just a shotgun. Except I didn't even have the shotgun. Grew up with Tony was actually pretty amazing. When I say amazing, I mean humiliated, upset, and a little bit embarrassed. And I have to be honest, there was a teeny tiny lie in my story, which is Tony never existed in real life. Tony was this person made up by my parents only in their mind. Why? Why do they do that? Why do my parents compare me with someone they made up in their mind? Why do they do that? So before I answer that question, we need a pop-up lesson of Chinese culture. So here goes. Dragon. You know dragon. Dragon is the most sacred and powerful being in our culture. And in our history, in our culture, we usually refer to those greatest people as dragon. For example, we have those kings in our dynasties, and we refer those kings as dragon. Knowing dragon, we have another proverb related to that, which is more to the point, which is hoping one's child become a dragon. You see where I'm going, right? So this dragon in this proverb represented the highest expectation from parents on their kids. They don't want their kids to be any other animal or any other person, but the dragon, the best. So that, remember Tony Stark. They wish the kids to become like someone like Tony Stark, great at sports, great at school, charming personality, great art talent, you name it. So my parents expect me to become this perfect person. This is how high the expectation was. The dragon. But sometimes I was like, no, I don't want to be the dragon. I just want to be the salmon. Maybe. But anyway. And other than that, other than the high expectation, my parents also believe that the most direct and effective way to stimulate my development was by comparing me with a role model. It makes sense, right? If you have a role model, you know who you can look up to, and you have a goal, you can work on that. But there's one problem. There was no such perfect example that is good enough in real life to be the role model for such high expectation. This person doesn't exist. Now we come back to our question. Why did my parents came up with someone, this Tony Stark, in their mind and compare me with this Tony Stark? Because there's no real person exists in real life. So now you see why my parents did that. Now let's take a look. How did they do it? So Throughout their life, they have seen all the great attributes from all different people. What they did was they collect those great attributes they want to see in me from all different people. For example, they see, oh, Mike is really good at this computer science, really smart person. I hope my Liu can be like that. And then, hey, Jane is really good at sports, like a superstar. Isn't that great if my Liu was like that? And then like Stephanie is this charming person with all the great personality. Oh my God, I will be the happiest mom in the world if my Liu was like that. You see my point. So they keep doing that throughout their life and take all the great attributes in their mind and ramble them together. Then this is how Tony Stark, this neighbor's child, was born. And I have enough reason to believe that this Tony Stark, this neighbor's child, was born way, way, way before I was even born. So it's like I was born to live up to the fantasy of my parents. This is not just me, not just my family. This is very common all around China. Like every friend I know, every person I know, pretty much grew up with their own Tony Stark. This concept is so common that we actually have a slang for that. 别人家的孩子. The direct translation is their neighbor's child. So if you go to a Chinese friend and you ask, do you know what this neighbor's child means? They will know what you're talking about. This is how common this situation is. So I was pretty much haunted by this neighbor's child throughout my childhood. Maybe even now, no matter what I do, no matter how good I am, he is better. He is better than me at almost everything. And my parents and some parents truly believe that comparing the kids to this perfect role model can help me grow up. But I understand all this came from the highest expectation. This engraved in parents' heart. This is embedded in our culture. I understand it. I get it. But sometimes people are like me. I don't want to be the dragon. I just want to be the salmon. No offense to salmon. All right? No offense to salmon. I love salmon. All right. I hope at this point you understand who this neighbor's child is in our culture. I hope you also understand why and how this neighbor's child was born. Please comment below if you had a similar experience when you grew up. And of course, click the like button if you like the video and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you next time.